And just like that, not a whole lot of test running, just hopping right into the shit. It is 9:06 a.m. winecellarmedia.com. It's March 23rd, 2019, and we are going to take something from the old tip jar there, $5 each, and head on down to this movie theater.
Yes.
And view this film titled Us.
Yes. I heard it's very scary.
Which, that's what niggas did. Niggas tricked me into seeing a scary-ass trailer. They were like, hey, this is a black issue. What do you guys think of this? And I was like, you motherfuckers, that shit was creepy.
What was that?
Somebody on the Facebooks.
Oh.
Yeah. And checked it out. But I was like, yo, but it looks ill. They're using the I Got 5 on it beat.
Yeah.
Quite properly. And so that's going to be going on.
But it's not actually about black issues. It's just a horror movie that happens to feature black people.
Yeah. Niggas was a little conspiracy
disingenuous
minded. Nah, I think Homie Loco really thinks there's something to it. And that's
cool.
why I'm not saying their name, because I'm kind of clowning a little bit, but I don't want to clown a nigga like that, because niggas really think shit. And I mean, niggas have reason to. I remember somebody said that. They were like, after all the shit that's happened to black people, you gotta let some conspiracy theory slide.
Yeah, that's honestly why I don't get like I get mad at black anti-vaxxers, but I don't like I understand.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm not gonna make you a segment.
Right, exactly.
All right, let's take a look.
It would be awesome if my Facebook would load, though.
Darn
it, there it goes.
Paid a whole lot of money for that tablet on Black Friday. All right, so I had one thing noted. I have several things noted, but one standout, and I think this could be a regular thing if Laura and Mo Loco keep sending stuff. Like, we'll just this will be the extent of me doing international news, is just updates on justice for Aboriginal folks down there in Australia. And I look at them, I'm like, yo, y'all niggas look black. But from the look of it, it doesn't look like they have our hair texture.
Yeah, they don't look like they have our hair texture. They look like they have like as you start moving further, right, to like Polynesians and Samoans. Yeah. It looks like they have like that type of hair texture.
Yeah. But man, they look black to
me.
Very
dark skin.
Yeah. I see a wide nostril.
Yes.
I think I see my folks on some level, I mean, maybe they just sat there, they used their Afro picks longer. I don't know. I have no science behind this. All right, so yeah, this is coming out of Australia, and it was put up March 15th, and it was edited March 16th. And it's now it's problematic though. Yes. Because it's from RT.
Oh, you can't do that.
Yeah, so the only reason why they posted this was because they hate Hillary.
Yes.
This is actually pro Donald Trump news.
It is. Yes, it is.
All right, let's take a look at this pro Donald Trump news from Russia Today, foreign agent news. Aboriginals in Australia have won a groundbreaking case that paves the way for billions of dollars in compensation claims for colonial land loss, as well as loss of spiritual connection. That's right, folks. That word is colonial. And if you remove a few letters, you have colonel. And I'm gonna need RuPaul to start RuPaul's Teach These Damn Kids to Read race.
RuPaul's hooked on phonics or some.
God damn.
That was... And that nigga said they have a master's degree?
My nigga. Yo, all right. That was... all right. Tangentially speaking, that it's just still in my head.
It's in my head, too.
That was awkward. All right. All right. So, again, colonial loss, as well as loss of spiritual connection, which it's kind of like I think this is interesting because it's like a continuation of what we've been seeing, like with the what they're doing in the hospitals, and then that application is out now, which will be colonized by white McMurricans in 3, 2, right? And now there's this news. So let's take a look here. The High Court of Australia ruled, which is a hyperlink, in favor of the All right, here we go. Starting these words with a letter N and the letter G. I'm going to treat the G as silent. Naliwuru and Nungali groups from the Northern Territory in the biggest native title ruling on indigenous rights to traditional land and water.
Yes.
In decades on Wednesday. All right. Now let's take a look here, man. I'll tell you this right now. Now it said the Northern Territory government was to pay 2.53 MN. Is that million?
I think so.
All right, 2.53 million in damages to the Naliwuru and Nungali groups for an earlier federal court ruling which found the Northern Territory government, quote, extinguished their native title rights when they built infrastructure on their land in the 80s and 90s. Uh-huh.
I mean, it's true, though.
It is a fact-based reality. I'm going to turn Phoenix Calida up a little bit.
Oh, all right.
Phoenix Calida just woke it up out of bed relatively recently.
Yeah, like 15 minutes ago, people.
Yeah. And now around 1.3 million of the damages was awarded for spiritual or cultural harm, which both the Northern Territory and federal governments argued was excessive. I don't know if they're arguing that the money is excessive or the harm is excessive.
Right.
I don't know which one it is, which means it would behoove one to look further. All right, so I'm actually gonna have to save that hyperlink as another show note.
Right.
All right, now the High Court ruled on Wednesday that the 1.3 million was not manifestly excessive and was not inconsistent. Okay, they were arguing about the money.
Too much money. All right.
They're like, come on, man. They're just fucking kangaroo niggers, man. We don't need to give them all that dadgum money dollars.
Basically.
Which, that's a spot-on Australian accent.
It's not.
People are tuning in. They're like, holy shit, is this the Jim Jeffries show? What the fuck is this?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? You don't sound anything like Jim Jeffries.
You trying to tell me that this ain't how Jim Jeffries?
No, that's not how he talks.
Talking.
No, that's not how he talks.
Is too. Jim Jeffries has very responsible Sesta Foster coverage.
He does.
Yeah, it's very responsible.
I like it.
So the High Court, they said, hell nah, it ain't manifestly excessive and was not inconsistent with acceptable community standards. It was the first time the High Court considered the monetary value of the removal of land rights, including economic loss and loss of spiritual connexion.
But they keep saying spiritual connection, and it just makes me wonder, like, about that land. Like, were there, I don't know, like, were they using it for like a particular style of worship, or was there like a mystical landmark or something there? Because they keep saying that, and that's just like an interesting terminology to me.
Yeah.
I just wonder.
If we could afford to do that level of journalifying. And this is a quote from the council interim CEO, Jacques Akit, said, this is a ruling that brings a different light on native title and the cultural and spiritual loss, let alone the inability to take any economic opportunities. We need to revisit those cases where they were unjustly, compulsorily acquired by governments and will then need to take instructions from them. End quote. Wait, so he's saying...
That was also not a British or Australian accent.
Oh, that was spot on.
That was absolutely not.
Holy shit, it was perfect. It was perfect.
It wasn't.
Man, it was like fucking Jesus making chili dogs, nigga. It was perfect.
Why would Jesus do that? Why does Jesus hate us?
He just hates you.
Nigga.
According to world history, Jesus does not hate cis hetero men. He hates you.
You're black. Did you forget that? Jesus don't like you neither.
Nah, that's God. Jesus is cool with me. That's God's problem.
They're the same person.
Remember, according to that, but that's why he made Jesus a nigger, because he was like, I do not have the empathy for them fucking things. You know what? Make my son half Negra.
But they're the same.
Make his feet bronze.
Same person. 3 in 1.
Make his hair woolly. Woolly bully.
Same person. God is black. And wow. So was God a coon? What the fuck?
Fucking coon. Fucking coon ass God. Sell out buck dancing.
Damn.
This is weird.
And got the Virgin Mary pregnant.
Worst tangent ever.
Yeah, we do that. Sorry.
We need that guy from The Simpsons. Comic book guy. That's it.
Yes.
All right. Now the court reduced. Yeah, we're still in Australia, folks. Yes. Wherever we just went, I don't know. But the court reduced the original compensation amount from 3.3 million. Jesus Christ! So they fucking cut it like by fucking more than half.
Damn.
The fuck. And apparently 3.3 million was just too the fuck much.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it wasn't like it was going to white men or anything.
Jesus Christ. 3.3 million was too the... Like, again, like, I think this came up in a tangent on a recent episode. Like, there's underground rappers that are millionaires.
Right.
That you've never fucking heard of.
Yep.
All right. So they cut it by more than half. Which was awarded by a 2016 federal court, which included an economic loss amount calculated to be 80% of the freehold value of the land. The Northern Territory's government appealed for 50% of the land value, and the court agreed to this. However...
What? 50% of the land value? Like, so they started off saying, yeah, you're only going to get half of what you fucking deserve for that.
But then we're going to give you less than half of what we'd, Jesus. So they're getting less than a quarter.
Jeez. Well.
So, I mean, yeah, this is $1, but then I'm going to give you 50 cents. But then again.
That's a little excessive.
Yeah. Maybe 17 cents is about what you need out of this whole dollar. I mean, hey, at least you speak English now.
What's plain?
Oh, I have, folks might be able to hear lightly in the background. I have, local access television on because I was watching, the city council. I like doing that on Saturdays. I like watching city council for an hour or so.
Watch the city council, and then you get a newspaper on Sunday and you sit down in your chair and read it.
I'm a local guy. I've always been a local type guy. When I lived in Washington State, I watched the local weather channel, and I watched Cairo 7 and Como 4 News. And when I lived in Florida, I got the Orlando Sentinel, and I watched Central Florida News 13. I'm a local guy. Wherever I am, I absorb the localness.
Did you research our city council people who are running?
Oh, shit, no, I have not.
Oh.
Have you yet?
No.
Come on, Chief.
Damn.
We are garbage.
Yeah. It's bad. All right, we gotta do that.
We got tagged in a list of political podcasts to cover,
shit.
And we're giving them Aboriginal news. That's all right. Well, we did. You know what? In recent updates on Morning Wine Cellar episodes, I did some Sester Foster updates.
Yeah.
And shit like that. All right, let's skippity skip bop flippity do. All right, so however, we're back to the Australian RT.com.
Yes.
The pro Donald Trump news. I don't know if you folks forgot that from the beginning of this seg. However, the ruling on spiritual loss is what makes this case such a win for Aboriginals. And this is a quote from Megan Brain, who is a native title lawyer. Megan said, "This is a very important case because it is the first time the High Court has set out the principles for compensation." End quote. Spot on impression of Megan Brain.
Quite sure it's not.
Indeedly do, neighbor, it is.
Can you say anything with an Australian accent?
Yes. She sells seashells by the seashore. Blam.
Really? That's what you're gonna...
Mad Australic bee.
Australic.
Yeah. That's the language.
Aight. Nigga.
You didn't know that.
Nigger.
You didn't know that, did you?
Wow. That's funny.
That's
Wow.
Oh man, we got to get that in the soundboard. I really love the newest thing in the soundboard, which I think that's how I am every time I put something in the soundboard. I'm like, this is my new favorite thing.
What is your new favorite thing?
I think I put it in. Wait, there it is. It's in Wine 1, which is the name of that board. And I've been replacing some old whack ones from where that shouted out someone that eventually laughed about a rape story on his podcast and then got mad at us.
Woo!
Weird. And but yeah, it's this.
You got some great moves, Todd. You dance like a white man, and I love it.
Oh my God.
I'm telling you,
you can't do that.
There's strong. That's why you don't watch BoJack Horseman while you have your recording application open, because you will fill up your fucking soundboard.
You got some great moves, Todd. You dance like a white man, and I love it.
That's fucking awesome.
It's horrible.
Yes. Out of context, it's even better. In context, it's a scene where this individual is being courted by two prison gangs somewhat romantically, and he's like because he's like white, but you know how you could be white and black hair ambiguous.
Yeah.
So the Latino gang and the white supremacist gang are both trying to court him, and he was doing that dance, and I guess you can tell exactly who was watching him dance.
You got some great moves, Todd. You dance like a white man, and I love it.
Yeah, fucking BoJack Horseman will fuck up your soundboard.
Yeah.
All right. What up, ma'am?
Oh, I was just agreeing with you.
We got to move on to Phoenix Calida's show notes.
Yes.
Probably a lot more responsible than anything I saved.
Okay, you said that. This is the first thing I have.
Oh, shit.
So Maine, one of our favorite states.
Is that where the
Smoothie and Shifty go to impregnate white women while selling drugs?
Paula Page.
Yes.
Oh, cool. I love stupid bullshit like this.
However, Paula Page isn't the only problem in Maine. So, during a hearing last week over whether incarcerated Mainers should be guaranteed access to basic menstrual hygiene products, tampons, Republican State Representative Richard Pickett of Dixfield cautioned that such a rule might make the prison system too much like a country club.
Oh, where is he representing?
Maine, Dixfield.
Oh, cool. I love stupid bullshit like this.
Okay.
Sometimes the jokes write themselves, people.
God damn it.
On Friday, members of the legislature's Criminal Justice and Public Safety Committee voted 6-4 to advance LD 628, which would ensure comprehensive access to menstrual products in all of Maine's correctional and detention facilities. During the debate, Pickett, who currently serves as the Dixfield police chief, voted against the bill and argued that detainees already had access to menstrual products such as pads and tampons. Quite frankly, and I don't mean this in any disrespect.
Oh, shit.
The jail system and the correctional system was never meant to be a country club, he said, according to the Bangor Daily News. Reported by Alex Aquisto. Thank you, Alex. They have a right to have these, and they have them. If this wasn't the case, then I would be supporting the motion, but they do. During testimony, however, supporters of the bill explained how incarcerated people who menstruate, I like whoever wrote this, that was very gender neutral, that was very nice.
Responsible.
This is mainbeacon.com. Hold on, let me scroll up. Lauren Macaulay, mainbeacon.com. That was very nice.
Lauren Macaulay. Is it spelled like the Macaulay?
Yeah, Mccauley.
Say word.
Yes. So during the testimony, however, supporters of the bill explained how incarcerated people who menstruate are only given a limited amount of supplies each month. Imagine you're a person who has their period inside of a correctional facility, said Whitney Parrish, director of the policy program for the Maine Women's Lobby. You're given a limited supply of menstrual products per month, often of low quality due to cost saving, and when you run out, you're out. You may have no money to get to the commissary, and if you do, you may have to weigh that purchase against other necessities like making phone calls to your children or your attorney. You're forced to make the impossible decision of constructing your own menstrual products using anything from clothing or notebook paper in place of a tampon. Without adequate access to clean and hygienic menstrual products, you may face serious health consequences. This happens every single month, and for someone with irregular cycles, more frequently. Menstrual products are not a luxury item by any means. All right.
A whole bunch of shit that you shouldn't actually have to say out loud.
But it's like a country club, nigga.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it is because rich white men run it. It's very...
But rich white men aren't inside of it, so it's actually not like a country club.
Well, they're just not there yet. Only the help is there right now.
Yeah, okay.
They're still fixing it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's what is it? It's a urban renewal project. You know.
Right.
Hey.
In 2017, the Federal Bureau of Prisons announced that free menstrual products would be guaranteed for all women, transgender, and non-binary people. However, there is...
The fuck? Who wrote this?
Lauren Macaulay.
She wrote that shit? That's not a quote from anyone?
No, she just wrote that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not a quote. So in 2017, the Federal Bureau of Prisons announced free menstrual products would be guaranteed for all women, transgender, and non-binary people. However, there is no such policy for state prisons or county jails, which house the majority of incarcerated people. Pickett further argued the bill is an example of lawmakers trying to micromanage the criminal justice system, saying, quote, "Sometimes you gotta look at things, and when you have something that's working and something that's there, you can't continue to micromanage the jail systems." Okay, but if they don't have tampons, it's not actually working, though. So, okay.
Oh, shit.
All right. However, in her testimony, Megan Sway, policy counselor for the ACLU of Maine, explained that LD 628 is crucial to safeguarding this access, quote, "so future commissioners are not tempted to save money in their budgets or use menstrual products as tools of control by denying women access to basic necessities." Oh. Here we go. By the way, Lauren Macaulay, because she's actually featured in the thumbnail at the bottom, is the editor of The Beacon, mainbeacon.com. Prior to joining MPA, Lauren worked at Common Dreams.
Okay.
And her writing has also been featured on BillMoyers.com, Truth Dig, Truth Out, In These Times, People Action Blog, and Fair.org, Newsweek, and Eco Watch, right? I don't know. Yeah.
Slick ass nigga been sliding under the radar, being responsible. Like, swear to fuck, let Lauren run for president. We won't be Bernie or Bust anymore. We'll be Bernie or, hey, we'll take Lauren as well.
Lauren.
Lauren's legit.
Yes.
I like this shit. Get this nigga on the program.
She has also worked on a number of documentary films, including one in current production on civil rights icon James Meredith.
God damn it.
All right, Lauren.
And I haven't even seen the picture. I'm stereotyping by name.
Yes.
Lauren's white, huh?
Yep.
Why are so many of the social justice homies white? Too many of our black folks have... Oh, man, she's really white. Oh, shit.
For fuck's sake, her last name is Macaulay. It's fucking Irish.
Yeah, Phoenix just showed me the picture. Yeah, god damn it. Rather pale. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so many of our black folks have, like, these conservative leanings here and there. I think even me, right? Like you pointed out, you were like, you're very respectable when it comes to like fucking speaking up in public and getting dressed to go out in public.
Yeah, you have some respectability politics about you. I think the biggest one though is like at your job where we park, you are very particular about where we stop the car.
Yes. We don't stop in people's paths, even if they also do it themselves and don't care.
Right.
I care.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Phoenix said I dress hood nice.
You do.
And I couldn't pretend I didn't understand it, even though I've never heard anyone say that before.
But you knew exactly what the fuck I meant.
It's like, oh shit. Like you know how you kind of look down over yourself like that's what that is? That's definitely what that is.
That is what that is.
Like, damn, maybe I should start ironing again. I don't want to look like I'm from Southern California or Louisiana. Them niggas that fucking like, I'm no longer in the creasing my jeans crowd. That was in my teen years. I used a whole bunch of that Stay Flow heavy starch.
Yes.
Where you put it on until your pants aren't starched enough unless they stand up by themselves.
Right,
that rule.
Right.
Yeah, I used to be one of those teenagers that did that. We'll go down to the Kmart that used to exist and get like the industrial bottle. And then you basically mix in how much water you want. Yeah. We didn't mix in much, just enough so that it
was liquid and you could spray it.
Yes, and that was it. Just that much and you're fine. Now iron it.
Yes.
Stiff, nigga, cardboard pants.
Yes.
You know, and I guess the appeal of that, especially for like blue collar level folks, it just makes your old ass clothes look brand the fuck new.
Right.
Yeah, and then you go out and you look crispy and you have a gosh darn time. All right, Phoenix Calida's show notes.
Yes. Let's see. I recorded a couple things yesterday, but I almost kind of want to do this one again.
Oh God. Just to show you, because like how I said, I don't have anything responsible saved. Like this is at the top of the little notes I had saved. Mm-hmm. It's some people in church and a preacher is exercising.
Oh God.
And oral sex demon from a parishioner. Yeah, that's what I have.
Look that demo. Look, oral sex demo. You see oral sex? Look, oral sex. Look. You oral sex. Use oral sex. Let that sperm of that man out. Out, you demo. Out. Let go.
Delivered me 2 Sundays back. Then a demon came with his penis and put it in my mouth. And
what?
And then he came again and he slept with me last week. And I told the pastor that I need.
Yeah, it's a pastor exercising an oral sex demon. That's what I'm bringing to the table.
You see oral sex? Look, oral sex. Look. You oral sex. Use oral sex. Let that.
Yeah. So we're going with your notes.
My show notes are nothing like that at all. So 7 U.S. military members were actually found to be members of a white supremacist group called White Europa. Identity Europa.
I found several million that were members of a white supremacist group called America.
That is also true. This one is interesting because remember we talked a lot about Khalif Browder, right? The young man who was in Rikers for like 3 fucking years because he couldn't afford bail.
Yeah, over a backpack.
Yeah, that he didn't even take, but yes.
And then and as a consolation prize, they're going to get rid of Rikers and then just put all those inmates in a different facility where they will treat them exactly the same.
They're not getting rid of Rikers.
Oh, that's canceled.
I mean, it's not like on paper canceled, but I saw somebody who put out the New York City budget, and a lot of it is going to policing and whatnot, so they're not closing Rikers. Good. You can't give more money to the police budget and then fucking, you know.
Well, Rikers is gladiator school. It's good for him.
It's good for him. So this man is suing the New York Police Department for locking him up in Rikers for 6 years without a trial.
6
years.
Fucking years. Mm-hmm. Like, it's 2019 right now.
Yeah.
6 years ago, there was a government shutdown over Obamacare.
Yep.
Right? And that was in October.
6 years ago, we had a completely different fucking president. Like, 4 years as one president.
That was the first year of the second term, was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago, I had like 45 podcast episodes. What
in 6 years you can get pregnant, give birth, and now be getting ready to put a kid into kindergarten?
Shit, 6 years ago, like right now today, George Zimmerman hadn't even gone to trial yet.
Shit.
That wasn't until the summer. It's March.
Yeah.
6 motherfucking years ago. Let's see, what else? Orange is the New Black was like a new show on its second season.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, who's this Laverne Cox individual? We find her interesting. Mm-hmm. You know, damn, yeah, 6 years ago. What can I say?
So a Manhattan man who was only 16 years old when he was arrested for murder is suing the city and the New York Police Department, saying the system failed by allowing him to languish behind bars and Rikers for more than 6 years without a trial. I feel cheated, I feel robbed, said Reginald Wiggins, now 26. He told the Post of the near decade he spent behind bars following his arrest for the 2008 shooting of a 15-year-old. Sometimes I feel real sad when I see kids going to school because I used to be like that, so carefree. Yeah, 16 years old when this happened to him.
6 years ago, Fallon Matthew was a teenager.
Shit.
Yeah.
But his adolescence ended, he said, when he was arrested as a high school sophomore. Fuck.
Yo.
Fuck.
Sophomore.
Fuck.
Sophomore. Nigga, you don't even have facial hair yet.
Nigga, I couldn't even take driver's ed when I was a sophomore. I had to wait till I was a junior.
Damn. That's just your
summer birthday,
smart.
yeah.
Yeah, you got in school. Or, oh yeah, our birthdays are in the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's that bullshit, right?
Right.
Our birthdays are like 3 days apart, folks.
Yeah. So he was a sophomore and charged with murder despite zero evidence linking him to a fatal shooting, other than the changing accusations of an acquaintance who's now doing time for the slaying. Wiggins, Manhattan civil suit, says he spent 6 years in Rikers as the Manhattan DA's office refused to bring his case to trial, instead focusing on convicting his co-defendant, Jamal Armstead, who went through 3 mistrials.
Jesus.
The last brought on by Hurricane Sandy, before eventually pleading guilty to manslaughter. Wiggins gave up hope and pleaded guilty to a manslaughter charge after waiting 6.5 years, thinking he would never be able to go before a jury.
Fuck, 6 years ago. Hurricane Sandy.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Wasn't there another one? Because I remember, because the election was 2012, right? Wait, what's the date on this article?
This came out a couple days ago.
Shit. Okay, so they must be thinking 2018 in their heads, because 6 years ago.
But that was the last mistrial for the other guy.
Okay.
But yeah, he already had 2 mistrials before.
Damn, so it's really been almost 7 years, more so than 6 years.
Yeah.
Because I remember that shit, Chris Matthews on MSNBC gloating, saying that Hurricane Sandy was good because it helped Obama win.
Ooh.
Yeah, and the funny I wish I could find that clip. MSNBC is very good at scrubbing, because right the moment he says it, it's like late night. They're up. It's like midnight, and he's probably drunk and not focused and excited. And then Rachel Maddow, the ever focused careerist, just like put her hand on his shoulder, like, oh fuck. And then the next day he's on there with the fucking crying face, apologizing, putting on that whole show. Yeah. All right, this story.
Yeah. So in 2018, the New York Court of Appeals vacated his conviction and the underlying charges, saying the Manhattan DA's office, which is not named in the suit for legal reasons. What the fuck does that mean? The fuck does that mean?
Just say it again. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. The New York Court of Appeals vacated his conviction and the underlying charges, saying the Manhattan DA's office, which is not named in the suit for legal reasons. So the niggas who's responsible is not fucking allowed to be named in the goddamn lawsuit because of legal reasons? The fuck does that mean?
Lawsuits have legal reasons. Ruffles have ridges.
Nigga.
Yes.
Because they had failed to grant him a speedy trial. He was released from prison that day after 9 years as an inmate.
Oh, cool. I love stupid bullshit like this.
At one point, Wiggins was so desperate to escape, he attempted suicide, according to court documents. I understand. They put winning the case above the law. They didn't adhere to the law. They wanted a conviction, said Wiggins. The lawsuit, which seeks unspecified damages, details the horrors of the young man's time behind bars. He spent a significant portion in solitary confinement, according to court documents. He was subjected to routinely humiliating strip searches. On multiple occasions, he was assaulted by prisoners, resulting in injuries, including permanent scarring to his face. Due to his incarceration, the plaintiff could not complete his education, and the course of his life was forever altered. Free for less than a year. This story came out a couple days ago. This story came out in March of this year. This nigga been free for less than a year. He got locked up when he was 16 for some shit he never even fucking did.
He got fucking locked up on the fucking on the iPhone 4.
Shit, nigga.
And came out on the iPhone X. I think for a lot of people that probably just put it in perspective much better.
Right.
They're like, oh, the fucking
I get
4. Retina display. I remember that.
For less than a year, free less than a year, and now living in Florida with his mother, Wiggins says the lack of education and facial scars are daunting obstacles as he tries to return to a different world. Reggie's had a very difficult time adjusting to being at home since his release. It's something people don't appreciate, said his lawyer, Paul Prestia. He's a young man who went to private school before that.
Ooh.
He comes from a good family, and all that got taken away from him. And while the lawsuit might help him move forward with closure, it's still painful, according to Prestia. Wiggins says, I feel like I'm still fighting. I'm still in the system. I'm still dealing with lawyers and judges. Even though I am home, it feels like I copped out. I got out on appeal, but it doesn't feel like I got a chance to prove my innocence. I feel cheated out of my fair trial. Nigga, you don't want a trial because trials ain't fair. Just, hold the L on that one if that's how you see it. Wiggins is suing for false arrest, malicious prosecution, and other charges. He's seeking attorney's fees and unspecified monetary damages. In a statement from the NYPD, a spokeswoman pointed to Wiggins' guilty plea after waiting 6 years for a fucking trial, what the shit, and stated that the higher court only overturned his conviction on the basis of time spent awaiting trial. Yeah, because he shouldn't have to be locked up for 6.5 fucking years waiting for a goddamn trial. That's reasonable. What the fuck?
But then, big reason why? Because prosecutors gotta prosecute.
Yep.
They don't give a fuck about wrong or right. That's just like defense lawyers gotta defend. They don't give a fuck if they actually think in their head, oh yeah, he did that shit.
Do you ever think about that though? People hate defense attorneys, oh, you're defending rapists and murderers and they're guilty and you're doing it anyway. But nobody thinks about prosecutors that nigga innocent and you doing it anyway.
To be cruel. And now they want that to be president because that motherfucker now all of a suddenly just became black. Mm-hmm. Amazing.
So magical she didn't even know she was a Negro.
Woo!
So the spokesperson said, a dismissal of criminal charges on speedy grounds does not in any way indicate either Wiggins' innocence or support a claim for money damages, especially in light of his guilty plea to manslaughter. Okay, nigga, fuck you. A law department spokesman said the city lawyers would review the suit. The NYPD has not responded to a request for comment. I wouldn't have fucking responded either.
Yeah, ma'am. All right, let's see. We got 36 minutes of material. Let's get another story on them and drop that old Saturday wine cellar. Okay. And then I want to make a post I want to do the same thing on the Twitter that we did with the Facebooks, where we make a list of people that want to be tagged when new shit drops. I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Just headline. I'm not even gonna click on the article, but Fox News signed who as a new pundit? Oh
shit.
Donna Brazile.
The person that gave Hillary the debate questions ahead of the debate, and then admitted to it.
Yes, and then also there was a police officer in Brantford, I believe this was in Connecticut, who was charged with trying to obtain services from a person under 18. That means rape. Hello, soft language. But this one, I recorded some stuff yesterday and I covered this, but I want to cover it again with you because I just really want this to get more traction. So, we mentioned it in headlines, but we didn't have time to get to it when we had previously done an episode. So we covered a story about a cop who killed a sex worker, shot her. And he said that she had tried to attack him and he had to shoot her in self-defense. But a bunch of sex workers had looked at the story and were like, but she was handcuffed and she was in the front seat of the car. And he's a vice cop and she's a sex worker. He was trying to rape her because why else would she be, in the front seat of the car instead of in the back? Right?
And cuffed.
Right. So a bunch of sex workers called that shit and people were like, oh, you're being paranoid and Blue Lives Matter and she attacked a police officer and he had the right to shoot her in the face repeatedly, blah, blah. So now, same cop, you'll never believe what happened.
Oh, he was, there was a daycare burning down and he ran in and got all the children out and even got the pet iguana that they took turns feeding. And he also put out the fire. He's
been charged with holding women against their will in exchange for sexual favors.
After the daycare thing. Yeah.
And also, they don't put iguanas. Those are scary to little kids. Nigga, they probably had some fucking goldfish or something.
Hamster.
A hamster?
A hamster.
I used to have a gerbil.
My biological sister had 2 gerbils. And we don't know how the fuck it happened, but one day we came home from a family outing. This is when my biological mother was alive. And came in, and the cat was inside the gerbil cage, just staring at the gerbils. Hadn't harmed them yet, but was just in there staring at them. Yeah.
I also had a cat. And one day I came home, and The gerbil was in the bathtub with the cat. And only one of them was still breathing.
The fuck? Why the bathtub? What in the Dexter
It was probably
Morgan?
trying to run away or something.
That was some Dexter shit, nigga. The cat was like, so back in the pet store, there were some other gerbils that said some pretty interesting things about how you treated them. Look at these pictures of what you did.
Yeah, I told oldest child to keep his door closed because that's where the gerbil was, and he forgot one day, and
He was too focused on those fucking magic cards.
and that was the end of the gerbil. Anyways.
Yeah, right, serious story.
A Columbus, Ohio police vice officer could face the rest of his life behind prison after being indicted by a federal grand jury on charges of holding 2 women against their will, granting them freedom only in exchange for sexual favors. I personally would like to call that rape. I would like to call that kidnapping and rape.
Yeah.
Andrew K. Mitchell, a 31-year division veteran. So he's been raping people for 31 years.
Oh, and keep
at
in
least
mind,
31 years.
I want to say Black Lives Matter, but once your black life turns blue, you're a rapist just like them. Fuck you.
Yeah, you picked your colors, nigga.
Yeah, because this is a formerly black man, now blue man.
Yep. That's the real Blue Man Group. So Andrew K. Mitchell, a 31-year division veteran, appeared in the U.S. District Court Monday and will remain in the custody of U.S. Marshals until a detention hearing Wednesday afternoon. Mitchell, 55 years old, been raping people for like 4 fucking decades, is charged with 3 counts of deprivation of rights while using his police authority, 2 counts of witness tampering, and 1 count each of obstruction of justice and making false statements. The deprivation of rights charges involve 2 women, one is whom believed to have been victimized twice. I'm gonna assume that means raped twice. And each charge carries a maximum possible sentence of life in federal prison.
In an intellectually lazy culture, that's how much more rape culture is important in it, is that they want to use bigger words than the word rape to hide rape.
Yeah, basically. U.S. Attorney Benjamin Glassman called Mitchell's actions, quote, a nightmarish breach of trust, a sentiment echoed by Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost. Police officers are heroes, not predators, Yost said.
Nigga.
I know.
Yeah, see, and what he's really mad about is he's fucking up the image of cops, not what they actually are. He knows what they are. He's probably a rapist too.
I like that you said that, and this is the next sentence. When one goes bad, it pulls down respect for all law enforcement.
Just one, huh? Mm-hmm. In all these years, just one.
The first instance of forced sexual conduct, rape?
Jesus. Hold on, let's count them out. Forced, sexual conduct. They went for 6 syllables to hide the word rape.
But also, hold on, let me scroll back up. So, hang on now.
You're trying to find all the instances?
Yeah, exchange for sexual favors.
Let's do that. Exchange for sexual favors. 8 syllables.
Mm-hmm. Deprivation of rights.
Deprivation of rights. 6 syllables. And what are they hiding with that one?
Oh, because that's what he kidnapped them for, was to rape them, but they're calling it, he's not being charged with rape, he's being charged with deprivation of rights. He's not actually catching a rape charge for this.
A deprivation of rights charge?
Yeah.
So I can sue America, right?
Good luck, nigga.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, he doesn't actually have, like, sexual abuse, rape, fucking, nothing. There's no, like, sexual charge. So the first instance of forced sexual conduct occurred in July 2017, 4 months after Mitchell joined the Vice unit, according to the indictment. The 2 other instances occurred in September 2017 and spring of 2018. Mitchell was relieved of duty September 26th. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Following an opening of an investigation that month of the Vice unit by the FBI's Public Corruption Task Force. How fucking corrupt is your unit that the FBI investigated you?
That's what I hate about this whole thing. It's like, fuck, they're so corrupt that we have to stop being corrupt for a second and investigate their corruption.
Right? Like, how bad were you? Like, they didn't do that shit in Chicago until, like, John Burge happened. Like, all the shit Chicago police do, it took, like, fucking 2 decades of running a torture site to beat confessions out of people for them to be like, ugh. All right, we're going to do something about this, guys.
Damn it. You're supposed to do that in Guantanamo, not here, guys.
Right?
Shit.
Yes. So Mitchell is accused of lying to federal agents who asked him if he had ever been sexually involved.
Sexually involved. 6 syllables. That's a popular one.
If he'd ever been sexually involved with a prostitute.
Oh, shit. Julie Bindle is salivating.
Yes, she is. Yeah. So the same week, the FBI executed a search warrant at Mitchell's Sunbury area home. Mitchell is also accused of tampering with 3 witnesses by either threatening to harm them, trying to persuade them not to testify before a federal grand jury, or lying between September 26th and December 2018, according to the indictment. During Mitchell's initial appearance Monday, Assistant U.S. Attorney Jessica Kim said the officer should be detained pending his trial because he had already engaged in obstructive behavior during the investigation. Mitchell's attorney, Mark Collins, said his client, quote, absolutely 100% denies all allegations against him. Whatever, nigga. The federal charges are unrelated to This is where it gets interesting, right?
Okay.
Even more interesting. The federal charges are unrelated to an on-duty shooting in which Mitchell fatally shot 23-year-old Donna Castleberry while working undercover August 23, 2018. That's the sex worker who was handcuffed in the front seat of his car. So, peep this. He's accused of holding 2 women, one of whom definitely was a sex worker, the other one who probably was a sex worker against their will and only letting them go after he raped them. And then he also was on duty and shot a sex worker when he tried to rape her.
Now, it's deprivation of rights.
Yeah, well, obviously she's dead. Like, all her rights have been... Yeah, she's deprived of all rights. Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, all that shit.
And on some level, you gotta wonder if a swerf is like, he saved her from a miserable life.
At least the slaves died knowing Jesus.
Whoo! That one is a great one from folks that like us politically may know of a show called The Professional Left with Driftglass and Blue Gal. And that's like back in like maybe like their first 50 or so episodes. That's some shit she actually said. I covered it on this podcast quite some time ago. And unironically, not surprisingly, Ricky L. Hines, that used to do a podcast, Americans United Again, he agreed with her on that. Interesting things that are interesting. Yeah, he agreed with her. Like, he did, yeah, like, he agreed. It was in a Facebook comment, so it's not archived on program, but yeah, he was on board with that. He was like, you know what, he likes the way she said that. Yeah.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah. Not all light-skinned niggas are the same. Not all light skins are pale equally. I don't know, whatever. Nigga.
All right. So the federal charges are unrelated to a shooting in which he shot 23-year-old Donna Castleberry while working undercover. However, Collins, that's this killer rapist cop's attorney, said he is concerned about the timing of Mitchell's indictment and how the arrest will affect the upcoming grand jury review of the shooting. Franklin County prosecutor Ron O'Brien said the investigation to Castleberry's death is scheduled to be presented to a county grand jury in the next month. Castleberry's family told the Dispatch the hearing is scheduled for April 3rd or 4th. I want to try to remember that and keep up on that.
April 3rd or 4th.
Yeah. So Collins, the lawyer for the rapist killer cop, says, but is he going to get a fair shake in the grand jury with all this publicity? Is he going to be testifying in his jail clothes?
What's this cop's name?
His name is, what's his first name? Andrew K. Mitchell.
Andrew K. Mitchell, and it's April 29th?
3rd or 4th.
April 3rd or 4th. Hey, Siri. Make a calendar note to update the, what's his name?
Andrew Mitchell.
Andrew Mitchell's story for April 3rd.
Really,
Siri's
Siri?
having trouble here. Hey, Siri. Nigga, I said make a calendar note on April 3rd to update Andrew Mitchell. 3 p.m. Okay, good. Yes. All right. All right, so now that is scheduled in the handheld smart device.
Nigga, we fucking live in the future.
Yep. I wish I had it closer to the microphone so folks could hear Siri talking back. Siri is a very, very smarmy, monotoned white man.
Yes. You can change your Siri voice.
Do they have Snoop Dogg yet?
No.
I don't want to change it. I want Snoop.
You can get a British woman. You can get a you can get an Australian who actually sounds like Jim Jeffries.
Not nearly as much as me though. And that's not useful. I need them to be able to do an impression like I can. Don't look at me with freckles in your eyes. You look at someone else.
You gotta say "Rise Up Lights."
Rise Up Lights?
Yeah, if you say it fast, it sounds like you say
razor
blades in Australian.
Weird. Rise Up Lights. Ew. Ugh. Why are you making me do that? Rise Up Lights. Ew. I'm out. I'm done, man. What the fuck? Rise Up Lights.
Yeah, Rise Up Lights.
I have to say it slow or it's all fucked up. I can't say Rise Up Lights. Ew.
Well, I taught you how to say something in Australian.
Fucking Christ.
Yes. Okay. So April 3rd, they're presenting the Castleberry case of Rich. All right. So his lawyer is lamenting the fact that there's too much publicity. So in this case, Castleberry stabbed Mitchell in the hand because he was trying to rape her before the officer shot her multiple times while in an unmarked police vehicle, police said at the time. Collins said Mitchell has cooperated with federal investigators since September when he provided them with a DNA swab and has turned over all information they requested. At the time of the shooting, an unrelated complaint of criminal misconduct had been filed against Mitchell.
Criminal misconduct. Six syllables is kind of the go-to.
Right. So a criminal misconduct, 2 times of kidnapping people and raping them, and then trying to rape someone, and when she resisted, killed her. Great guy. Fucking stand-up guy. Interim Columbus Police Chief Thomas Quinlan said Monday that the community, quote, has every right to be disgusted by the news of Mitchell's arrest and the allegations against him. He said there are nearly 2,000 other officers who do the right thing and requested the community's continued support. Support your local rapist. All right.
Fucking Christ. Ain't that Chicago when it comes to R. Kelly.
Shit. And niggas been knowing about him.
Yep. Thanks, Gen X.
Ugh, gross.
And you know what? Ass-end boomers of Chicago.
Yeah.
Right? The Obama age crowd. Because that's about R. Kelly's age. He's in his 50s, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Y'all niggas. Y'all niggas. You know, but get mad at fucking millennials. You were never talking about it. Nigga, we were 10.
No, we were talking about it because I was in high school when he used to be out at high schools. I distinctly remember that shit. And like older older men would be like, but if he picks you up, like that's your come up. If he talks to you on your way home from school, you should be flattered.
Quite literally in high school where they could get their education and, you know, get the kind of grades that could get them a full ride scholarship, and that could be their come up.
Yeah.
Isn't that really your disruption, not your come up? But again, patriarchy is oppression, and oppressors don't have to make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I distinctly remember that type of shit because I'm gonna be like, oh, you should consider yourself lucky if he talked to you, or he'll buy you some things if you're nice to him, or, like he could put you up on a career, like all these things that you should be so fucking flattered if he caught you walking home from school. Because he used to just fucking park outside high schools. I'm not even fucking exaggerating. He would just be outside of a high school looking at girls coming out, and if he liked you, he would come talk to you.
And keep in mind, Run DMC, Daryl McDaniels. I remember seeing this on VH1 Behind the Music. That's how he met the woman that he was married to at the time that documentary came out. I don't know where they are now. This was like 1997 or 8. Like, this is a long time ago this documentary came out. And yeah, man, he said he saw her, she was 17, and I was in love. And it's like, you were outside of a high school hunting.
Yeah, exactly.
Hunting, you fucking predator.
Exactly. So the last thing about this story, Keith Farrell, the president of the Fraternal Order of Police, said he's withholding comment until more information is available, because you know he's fucking guilty and you don't want to have to come out and say it. So the investigation into Mitchell and the Vice unit is ongoing. 2 other Vice detectives, Whitney Lancaster and Stephen Rosser, have been relieved of duty as part of the ongoing investigation. So again, how corrupt is this Vice unit that the FBI had to come in and fucking look at you? And now 2 other detectives are also off the force. And this guy had, a criminal misconduct complaint, kidnapped 2 women and raped them. One of them was definitely a sex worker. And then also had a sex worker in the front of his squad car, handcuffed, tried to rape her, and then killed her for resisting. So yeah, that's Andrew Mitchell.
And again, I'm not gonna hide from the factor, because I know, like, there are some folks that will be uncomfortable with this shit because he's black, and it's like, oh no, accusing a black man of rape.
And of white women. Well, the woman he killed was white.
And it's like, I'm pretty sure that was probably his motivation to become a cop.
Yeah.
Because then, you know, it is a very much a do what you want badge.
Yeah.
You know, and he wanted to do what he wanted to do. Mm-hmm. You know, shit, man. It's fucked. And fuck this nigga. That's the thing. Emperor William is okay with killing black men that are rapists.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, listen to black women and girls. They'll tell you black men are in our neighborhoods where we are. That's you want to talk about black on black crime? Let's talk about black masculine on black feminine crime.
No. She was fast.
That's because she was running from all of them.
She wasn't fast enough then.
Okay, see? Faster, not fast enough, right? That man, the victim blamery. And I gotta tell you, we got up to 53 minutes, and for the first time, that was when I finally checked the video to make sure we were both on camera good.
Yeah.
I was not very responsible on that one, but we got it.
Yes.
So yeah, that is an hour of material for Saturday Wine Cellar. It is 11 a.m. The film starts at 1 p.m. and the homie loco, I should actually take a second to look this. Whoopsie-days. Whoopsie doggle. There it is. The homie loco, Sarah McCormick, tipped us on the PayPal. Thank you very much. And we are going to use that to go look at this film. What is his name? Jordan Peterson?
Peele.
It's not Peterson?
Jordan Peterson is a fucking creepy, racist white man.
Oh, fuck. He's, god damn it. Canadian, right?
I think so, yeah.
Ah, shit. I got it. Too many names in my head. Again, folks, this is like episode 851 or 2 or something. I'm gonna mix up some names. Shit, god damn, that is... Oh, you know what? Because I was listening to the Best of the Left compilation program.
Yeah.
And they were talking about
about Peterson, yeah.
Yeah, damn it. So that mixed the shit up in my head. And I also, when the Key and Peele program was going on, I didn't watch it.
Yeah. So
I'm kind of behind on those guys in general.
Yeah.
Like, I only know their Cholo sketches.
Well, that and that. Hey, Ron.
Yeah, I called my boss that at work for a while. It was really hard to not do it. And this is the really fucked up part. I started doing it in meetings. The safety committee meetings. Yeah, that was where I started doing it. And then it finally got boring and I stopped. And but yeah, we're gonna go see this film called Us. Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna try to remember as much of it as we can.
Yes.
Or I guess as soon as we walk out, we should just hit record on a smart device and just start recording a review. Do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then do a review episode, which I'd like to do more.
Yeah.
You know, I think so far we've only done the movie It, the new one, and the Proud Mary.
Yeah.
We didn't do Black Panther, and I can't remember why. I think at that time we just
didn't need to because everybody else did.
Yeah, it was
kind of saturated.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my God,
Sanders was right, huh?
She has a new movie coming out. and it's like it looks so tacky. It's like a cop comedy or something.
Yeah, it's
but like, I can't. Let me see if I can find it. Fuck. The name of it was so fucking tacky.
Oh wait, you know who I saw that looked like they're in some whack shit? Who we like became a fan of? The stand-up comedian. She does the stand-up comedy, black woman, but mostly stand-up comedy in front of white crowds. She was in that movie, Girls Trip.
Tiffany Haddish?
Yeah, she looks like she's in something new that's real tacky as well. But I mean, it looks like it's gonna be tacky.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 35. I assume shit now.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm just like, I don't have, like, I really just want to eat some fajitas and take a nap, so I'm just gonna assume I'm not gonna like it and not do it. So that's typically how I approach things now. You found it?
I can't find it, but yeah, the name of it was so fucking tacky.
What is it? Taraji P. Henson, right?
Yeah.
Taraji P. Henson and something that is tacky.
Yeah.
Hey Siri. Google new Taraji P. Henson movie.
Okay, I found this on the web for new Taraji Henson movie. Take a look.
Tyler Perry's Acrimony?
No, that's an old movie.
What Men Want?
That's an old movie.
No shit. Well, I don't know then.
Let's see if Twitter knows. I'm sure Twitter knows.
I like this. Anyone who's still tuned in, you just really like hanging out. Like that. We're literally just going to hang out for a few minutes trying to figure out this gosh darn movie. Don't make noise at me, computer. You make noise at yourself with your friends.
Of course, I can't fucking find it.
Oh, Phoenix Calida can't fucking find it.
No, I cannot fucking find it.
Oh, why can't you fucking find it? I thought you were a finder of things.
Aren't you a finder of things?
I thought you were finders, keepers, losers, weepers.
Really?
Which is so America.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But only in America you could be like, I found it even though I found this land even though you live here. I found it. It's mine now.
Did. It's kind of rolled up on the shore and I don't know how true this is. You know, Bob Kincaid has a doctoral level education.
Yeah.
And he says that in his studies, he, you know, like heard of accounts from indigenous folks here that they actually knew the Europeans were coming, but didn't know, but they knew something was coming because they could smell them way before they reached the shore.
Wouldn't be surprised. Coffee and Kareem.
Oh, fuck. It's interracial.
Yes.
And it's called Coffee and Kareem?
Kareem, yeah. Like somebody's name, yeah. Oh, it doesn't have the fucking...
Wait, so Kareem, that's a masculine name, so it's a black man?
Well, it could be her last name, maybe.
Oh.
Maybe.
You're trying to find a synopsis.
Yeah, I'm looking for one.
Phoenix Calida's looking for one.
Yeah.
She's trying to find it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised because
now.
if you think about it, it took like 3 fucking months to travel across the ocean. So 3 months with no actual bathing.
And then you got to think, I mean, we were watching that Boardwalk Empire, and that was the early 1900s, and it was a big deal to bathe once a week.
Yeah.
Whoo!
Right? And then, like, you know, so that, and then combined with the fact that people are fucking shitting and pissing on the boat, right? They probably have fucking animals with them for sustenance to eat later, so there's also fucking, I don't know, like goats and horses and whatnot shitting on the boat.
Fuck!
Chickens, whatever the fuck they brought, for 3 fucking months in one confined space.
Ew!
Yeah.
Jesus! I can't even add to anything.
Yeah, so Coffee and Kareem teams up a cop with his girlfriend's kid to take down a drug lord. Ed Helms, why do I know that name? And Taraji P. Henson have signed on to star in Coffee and Kareem. A pairing sounds like it was done in the same manner in which you might pull names from a hat for Secret Santa. Yeah.
Sounds
so the cop,
bad.
Ed Helms, needs the help of Kareem is a boy. It's her kid. So Coffee is the white cop, and then Kareem is Taraji's kid because they're dating. Yeah.
Corny things are bad and shouldn't be watched, and horrible and terrible, and I don't like shit. I don't know what to do, man. I know what to do. Not watch it.
Yeah, not watch it.
I'm just gonna not watch it, because what? There's a live action Dumbo coming out?
Yeah.
Definitely doing that.
Are we?
Fuck yeah, because they're gonna have the Jim Crows.
No, they're not.
I demand that they have the crows.
This is the boyfriend. That's the coffee guy.
Yeah, he looks hipster racist.
That's why he's dating a light-skinned black woman, obviously.
Taraji's not medium brown. She one of them Tupac black niggas.
I think she's lighter than Tupac.
He looks Tupac black.
What?
Tupac Shiker.
What?
Folks that are still tuned in really like hanging out.
Come on now.
That looks like a brightly lit picture.
All right, well, I mean, she's not that dark.
I want to see just a regular image.
This is outdoors on a red carpet.
No red carpet, regular. Just regular, cooling out, just illin', just smoking a joint, sipping on a 40, cooling out like Taraji does.
I'm quite certain we're not going to find a picture of Taraji sitting on a stoop drinking a 40.
Well, on a porch.
Nigga.
Playing jacks. Everybody likes playing jacks. Spinning a dreidel.
What, she's Jewish now?
Her name isn't her name Taraji P. Henson?
Really?
These are the facts. Now you're getting into what Phoenix Calida actually deals with all day. This kind of bullshit. And then how does she respond? Grabs a cat hair out of my beard.
I'm just trying to help you out, nigga.
It ain't right. It's not fair for her. Donate to Phoenix Calida's Twitter so that she can get out. It's kind of bullshit. Ain't right. And sure, she's laughing now, but it's 10 a.m.
Yes.
I'm telling you, by like 3 o'clock, she's gonna be done with this shit. She's probably gonna be done by like 11. Like, yeah, William, the Jews. And I'm just gonna be walking around like, you don't understand. What? I saw the movie Black Panther. That was the real anti-white racism. Like that guy, he was just trying to get some vibranium from the museum. And then Killermonger, Super Predator Monger, shot him and shot his own girlfriend. I saw him do it. Killmonger at the Bilderberg meetings with Hillary Clinton, Jeffrey Epstein, all of them, the bunch of rapist pedophiles who want to inoculate your children.
Your Alex Jones is actually pretty spot on.
It's a lot easier when you're louder. It's very hard to do quieter and more hushed tones. It's a little more challenging.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I went back into me. Mm-hmm. When you think about it, I listened to Alex Jones for about 4 years.
Then you have to curse and, excuse me.
Yeah, what the hell is going on with these goddamn, individuals? Oh, Lord, take the wheel, Jesus. I don't really understand what Negroes like Phoenix Calida are doing while I'm fucking up the decibels on this podcast. PayPal.me/Phoenix William. Patreon.com/Wine Fund. Or you can go to winecellarmedia.com. We have nutraceuticals infused with recreational marijuana coming at you live and direct. I'm losing it. I don't know how the fuck he does. I guess that's his real voice. He doesn't have to do it. I have to put it on, and it harms me. After a while, I'm going to start sounding like fucking Fred Durst. Right? I know y'all loving podcasts right here. Holy hell, damn. What the hell else is going on, man? I don't know. I'm just going to type it in. Fuck it. People who are still tuned in really just like hanging out. Now, this is what I do sometimes, folks, because my Google News service does not service as well as it used to.
Yeah.
So I literally just go straight to Google or Yahoo search and type in sex workers' rights. I literally just go straight there, type it in, and then I go to tools.
Oh, shit.
And the drop-down menu for any time comes up, and what I do is I put in past week.
Which reminds me, we have to talk about Florida and sex workers. They're trying to make it, like a registry where if you are, I believe either found to be selling sexual services or purchasing sexual services, you have to go on like the sex offender registry. I think that was Florida.
Now I searched sex workers' rights. Now, of course, however, and I used the Google platform for this. Now, folks know that whatever you search and read the most, it's gonna tailor your results to that.
Right.
But I mean, come on. I put in for the past week, right?
Yeah.
The 2 top ones that come out are both NPR with should sex work be decriminalized? Some activists say it's time, and of course, you know, it's NPR. They have a reasonably toned discussion.
Right.
The third result, audio fixed, sex workers' rights in New York by the Black Podcast. Yeah. We're the third result on that one.
Great, fun, good.
And then thehill.com, they have legalizing prostitution could end sex trafficking investigations. That's not an article I would go into.
Yeah.
Here, one at goodreads.com. So this is just a book. It says Revolting Prostitutes to Fight for Sex Workers' Rights by Molly
I've heard
Smith.
that book is so good.
Word? It's good?
Yeah, so I've heard.
Say word.
And I know the people who wrote it, so.
But then here's one that Phoenix Calida was just mentioning off of the OrlandoWeekly.com. New bill excludes convicted sex workers from restoring their voting, ...
Yes.
And so we click the link and we go over here. This is how I would do this. From restoring their voting rights. And this says Tuesday, March 19th, 2019. So I go down here and I check my decibels and I'm like, hey, that looks pretty good. And then I come back up here, I look, it has an I voted sticker as the image. And okay, great way to start your article with the word hookers.
Nice. Classy.
So yeah, here we go. Dara Cam for the News Service of Florida. All right, Dara on OrlandoWeekly.com, Bloggy Town. So Dara starts her article saying hookers who've been convicted of prostitution 3 times, cyber stalkers and inmates who expose themselves to prison workers shouldn't be eligible to have their voting rights automatically restored under a House proposal aimed at carrying out a constitutional amendment approved in November. The constitutional amendment, and keep in mind, like there's federal national constitution, and then states have their own state constitutions.
Right.
But then the state constitutions don't really matter because the federal can override. Like states have legal reefer, but
right, it's still a federal crime.
yeah, they can still send in feds to shut your shit down. That's why in 2012, when a bunch of those reefer dispensaries popped up, they were easy targets for jackers because they could only deal in cash because banks wouldn't take their money because the banks don't want that federal hit.
Right.
You know, they only launder money for Wall Street. They're not going to launder money for you, buddy.
Exactly.
All right, go fuck yourself.
Right.
Now, so the constitutional amendment, which appeared on the ballot as Amendment 4, granted automatic restoration of voting rights to felons, quote, who have completed all terms of their sentence, including parole or probation, end quote. The amendment excluded people, quote, convicted of murder or a felony sexual offense, end quote. And there you have it. That's your puritanical bullshit.
Right.
Murder equal with I made this cat shoot a load.
Yep, I gave someone a hand job.
Yeah. Which, and again, and then what they're doing there, and that's the anti-sex work and misogynistic side of it, because typically who you're going to expect to be doing sex work, cis women.
Right.
And and so they're equating sex work of assumed cis women with rape. And then equating that with murder.
Yep.
Okay.
And of course, all while pushing the idea that sex workers can't actually be raped.
Thanks a lot, superior race. We really like that you left Europe and ruined the planet.
Love it.
All right, dancing it forward. Right, again, folks. This is how I would find one of these stories and get to work on a morning wine cellar or save it to rock out with Phoenix Calida. So, state and local elections officials, as well as clerks of court and prosecutors, are relying on the legislature to provide guidance about the exceptions. They also want to know what conditions must be met for sentences to be considered complete. Nigga, that would probably typically be in the fucking paperwork. I hate people that make so much money and don't, like, nigga, if the sentence is 7 years,
right,
and you do 7 years, and the probation is 7 months and you do 7 months, and then you got to do what? Some community work of like, 300 hours of picking up garbage downtown. Mm-hmm. If you did all those things and they all got checked off by your probation officer, then you fucking completed it.
Right, exactly.
Checklist, motherfucker. Checklist. All right, at my job, I work on machines. You know what the fuck we have? A goddamn machine checklist. I'm a machine operator, and I also do a little bit of preventative maintenance work. So, the guys that do regular maintenance work, when we do a changeover, they would check off that they changed the seal bars, which are hot seal bars that close up packages, like this package of Oreos. That didn't just close itself, right? Like very hot seal bars clamped down on it. People listening to the podcast audio can't see it, but you can hear I'm holding a plastic pouch, right? Yes. And hot seal bars close down on that, but different size packages have different sized seal bars. So like this one, these look like half inch. These look like half-inch seals. So maintenance would come in and they would replace the 1-inch seals and put in half-inch seals to run that product. And then I would come in and I would replace what we call the former, which takes the film that makes this little package and turns it into a package from a flat roll of film, which would come out kind of like a roll of paper towels, but it's plastic. And I would come in and I would see, oh, look, they have 7-inch formers and we need 3.5-inch formers. So I would go prep the former parts of the machine and then install that part. And then I would go in and I would check the elevator bucket scales and we would check off all these things and then move that sheet of paper across the board to finished. And then that's how we know the machine completed its sentence. Mm-hmm. And I do that for much less dollars an hour than these people that work with human beings' fucking lives.
Yep.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Nah.
What? Alex Jones is now in favor of sex workers' rights. I'm very against Donald Trump.
Whoever is listening is so mad you keep fucking up the decibels, man.
Sesta Foster. It's goddamn bullshit. Excuse me. Okay. I'm really fucking up my shit. I need to fucking drink some fruit.
Yes, same.
And by drink some fruit, I mean, we're frugal. You can get like some frozen fruit down at the Walmarts for like $1.60, $1.50. Mm-hmm. And we take the frozen fruit, we keep it in the freezer. And then we went down to the Big Lots and for like $28, $29, $30 after tax, got one of those little magic bullet blender deals.
Yep.
And throw some fruit in there, maybe a little bit of sugar. And then put some water in there. I might put some lactate milk. And blend it up, shake it up, and then drink some fruit.
Yep.
And it helps, I assume. All right, so dancing it forward with this article.
Oh.
The Criminal Justice Subcommittee is scheduled Tuesday to take up a proposal of a PCB CRJ 19-03 that would define murder as first-degree and second-degree murder, but does not include attempted murder or manslaughter, offenses that backers of the amendment maintain were not intended to be considered exceptions to the automatic rights restoration. But the excuse me. But the House plan captures dozens of sex-related offenses. Dozens. And of course, at the top, they throw in human trafficking and locating an adult entertainment store within 2,500 feet of a school. And House Criminal Justice Chairman. Wait, in 2005, when you think the school, a bunch of people are probably letting their kids hold smart devices.
Yeah.
Where they can pretty much get on the World Wide Webernets and access any damn thing in that fucking adult store.
Yeah.
All right. But, hey, let's be prudent.
I saw someone tweeting they work with, like, people who just got out of prison, like, transitioning. And their newest client is someone who spent like 3 years in prison for transmitting child porn because he sent dick pics to his girlfriend when he was 19 and she was 17.
That was I think the first time I heard about a story like that, it was more so a homophobic story because I don't know, it was like a 16-year-old girl and like a 14 or 15-year-old girl that were in a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they charged her with child pornography for the pictures they sent back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more a homophobia.
Yeah.
As far as the intent goes, it was punishing her for being lesbified.
Right.
And in lesbianating that little victim of their consensual relationship. So, House Criminal Justice chairman, they can't just call it chairperson. They just can't fucking do it. Or
Today
chairholder.
Today in unnecessarily gendered things.
Yeah. Is that like a thing people do? It's like a hashtag?
I think it's a Facebook group or page or something.
Oh.
Or it's just,
Okay. I wish more of those were pages than groups, because I don't like submitting the 3 dorky ass questions. Like, I don't have time for your fuck. Like, you're not that, but you're not. Go fuck yourself. All right. So what this chairman says is, when the Constitution says felony sex offenses, and that means nothing legally, the best I can do is propose a list of felonies that are sexual. The reality is I'm going to do my best effort to maintain what I believe to be the rule of law now requires in a super ambiguous constitutional amendment. End quote. Spot on impression.
Yeah, okay.
The House proposal's definitions of what it means to have completed a sentence could also be controversial. I swear to fuck. For some reason, I wonder if the word investigates is going to come up in this, because white people love that word. Some of the constitutional amendments proponents believe it does not require full payment of restitution because such a requirement was not specifically mentioned in the amendment. Well, gee, water is wet. Other officials maintain restitution and issues such as mandatory drug testing or school attendance should be considered components of sentences if they are included in judges' sentencing orders. The bill would require felons who have fulfilled prison or jail sentences as well as parole or probation to pay, and that's to pay off any, quote, financial obligation arising from felony conviction, end quote. Unless the payment recipient was waived in the debt, a financial obligation continued through a civil judgment, such as a lien, would also have to be paid off before a felon could be considered eligible to have his or her voting rights automatically restored. Yeah, man, and it's a bit of a lengthified article, but typically that's how I would do it, and I would turn that into a morning wine cellar on Tuesday, as opposed to Tuesday night.
Wow.
Which those are shitty. I hate Tuesday night. Ma'am, you're trying to
Stop trying to hurt yourself.
I know, right? Amend the Constitution. Yeah. Yeah, it hits like right there in the throat. All right. So that's a good grand old time there, I'll tell you that right now. Extended wine cellar for no fucking reason.
Yeah. Like an hour and a half, yeah.
But maybe you dug it. A weird Saturday wine cellar.
Yes.
I know Phoenix Calida was not amused with me being like, you gotta wake up and do podcast stuff.
No, I was not.
She was like, God damn it, William, you're a Jew. And I was like, I am, so what?
You're not Jewish, I am. And also, yeah, you have this thing. You do not like letting me sleep on weekends.
Huh? Gotta get up, man.
Why?
Gotta get up, yo.
No, I don't.
Yeah, we gotta get up.
No, we don't.
We gotta get on, get up, get up, get up, get up.
Get up on the dance floor?
Indeed. That's the main place to get up. Come on. If you think this was worth your time, if these are the kind of decisions you make to listen to programs like this, We pass around the old offering plate tip jar, paypal.me/Phoenix and or William. That's actually not it. It's Phoenix and William. paypal.me/Phoenix and William. And then this is going to be this whole thing, this whole hour and 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
All going on the free feed.
Yes.
The whole fucking thing.
Yes.
But typically what we have been doing in a past recent couple of episodes going into this year is making the whole episodes Patreon only and dropping like 2 or 3 segments on the regular free feed.
Right.
But this one, fuck it, whole thing, dumping the whole thing on there. And then we're going to go look at this film.
Yes.
And then talk about it. And then we'll fucking drop that on the free feed too because we want to be part of the conversation.
Right.
And then Sunday, we're going to eat some food.
Yes.
And we're going to record some podcasts.
Yes.
And we're going to play Mousetrap.
Yes.
And I did not remember to look at the schedule to see if I'm on 5 a.m. Monday, so I'm going in 5 a.m. anyway.
Yes.
Because I don't remember.
Yes. I'm going to go eat some cake.
Some cake. Did you take a picture of it after you made it?
Yeah, I showed you the pic. Didn't I show you the picture?
Oh, I want to know if you put on the internet, because it's funny that when Phoenix Calida makes a cake, it's shaped like a skull.
Yeah. It's on my Twitter.
Yo, it's on the World Wide Webernets?
Yes.
That's a fun deal.
Yeah.
Yep, Phoenix Calida makes skull cakes.
I do.
All right, everybody and people, folks, please be as safe as possible wherever you listen to hour and 20-minute podcast of niggas yelling like Alex Jones. I don't even know what the fuck to title this one. I guess I want to title it for that rapist cop.
Yeah, because I was like, we already titled one "Everything You'd Expect from the Wine Cellar." We already have that.
Yeah, and this is why we need to kill a lot of people. Rapists make great fertilizer.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got some fucking titles. Yeah, all right. You fucking, there you go. That's your show, baby bro and baby sis. And that includes trans niggas, non-binary niggas, baby niggas.
Who the fuck was it? Said New York like covers all the genders. It's either ma, son, or yo.
That's legit. Ma, son, and yo. I remember hearing that as a young lad, like fucking hearing people say, "What up, yo?" And I was like, I appreciate that. Sounds about right. What up, yo? Really though. I still stated to step in and kill the flow. Looking at the screen, it says public services. But we ain't got time for niggas that want to murder this. But I want to murder this beat, but there isn't one. It's just the acapella flow that I spit on the run. My goodness, I'm not even on any sort of rhythm. I got no rhythm lacing like Janet Jackson when I spit them. When I get up in them, I grab the microphone and tear it to bits and pieces, ripping niggas apart. This is my thesis. You better get away from this. I tell you pieces to pieces. Ingredients that I throw in the cake that I roll up and bake. And nigga, I'll fucking cock back the heater and blow a hole in the state. Knock that whole shit down underground like Florida when the sea level rises. Nigga, on the microphone, I'm the nicest because I think it's lyrical politeness. I'm like Mr. Rogers, running up on the Brooklyn Dodgers and taking them back to L.A., Los Angeles. Can't handle this. Nigga, the rhymes are scandalous and vandalous, and they are not attacking us, and they can't get with this. My shit is just relentlessness. This, that, and the other. Chief. Yes. Again, you did this with your time. I don't know why.